1, 2, 3, 4.
5, 6, 7, 8, and 1, 2, 3. I'm just kidding.
Oh yeah, I just got an email from the Independent Shorts Awards because I won Best Editing and Best Short Doc for like Glitz and Glam, the Cheer story.
Really?
Yep.
I didn't know they gave awards for like shorts, dress wear.
Oh yeah, film festival circuits are full of short categories.
Oh, okay. I was trying to relate it to gym shorts.
What were we were just talking about something that I wanted to ask you. I said outside I wanted to ask you, and it was about the guy you were telling advice to.
Which one?
Emotions come from thoughts.
Yeah.
Tell me your theory. What was your theory?
Okay, so I believe, and I still believe this, even though today was a fluke, that your emotions are directly tied to your thoughts. Like, I don't believe for a second we just feel a way. Something in our brain made us feel the way we're feeling right then. And so I personally believe we can control our emotions. I feel like you made these really loud.
Oh, is it really too loud?
Yeah, it's really echoey.
This is how I play Apex. Oh, is it voice lagging you? Voice jamming?
I think a little bit. Now it sounds a lot better.
Do you want more? Less?
Just a little less.
There? Less?
Yeah.
There?
Perfect.
Less? Keep going?
No, now I'll go back the other way. Okay.
There we go.
Yep,
See, I like mine loud, the way I play Apex. I like it. I
Really?
can hear everything.
Yeah.
But it doesn't voice jam me because I feel like I hear it at the same time almost. Like literally the same time.
It felt like
yours
it
is
was
delayed?
Not now.
Oh, it was too overpowering.
Yeah, I think it was
Okay.
just a little echoey.
Oh, okay, sorry.
So
Carry on.
anyway, what was I saying?
All
yeah.
emotions stem from thoughts.
Yeah. And I believe that. So I went and saw the Inside Out movie, the new one.
Mm-hmm.
And they brought in all these new emotions. And I think it's a cute movie. I think anybody should go watch it. But at the end of the movie, me and this guy were having a conversation about, well, it started with anxiety because he asked if I ever felt anxiety. And I don't really feel like I ever get like anxious. Really.
Never. You got a lot of things that you should be anxious about too.
I know, well, more than most. So,
but you never feel the feeling of anxious. What do you think the feeling of anxiety is?
To me, and this is, I don't know, I feel like a lot of people have different definitions. To me, the feeling of anxiety is like uncertainty. Like, I don't know what to do. And I just never really feel that way.
You always know what to do.
I never know what to do, but I always know it's not as bad as I think it is. And I think a lot of people let pressure and stuff make these small decisions feel like big decisions, when really, as long as we have food, shelter, clothing, transportation, what do we really have to be anxious about? We're richer than most of the world. I'm not starving today.
Yeah, one sec. Let me turn this AC off. I know it's kind of cool in here, right?
Yeah.
I think I can hear it.
I can hear it.
Okay, one sec. Oh, okay, that's quiet.
Yeah, now, as soon as you shut it off, I all of a sudden realized how much I was hearing it.
Yeah, I heard it a lot. It was starting, I was like, what's that background noise? But it's supposed to be quiet. I bought it extra expensive because it's supposed to be quiet and cool. But anyways, enough bitching about stuff. So I posed an argument to you at the park about the biological, what are emotions? Are they just chemical dumps? Is that what you refer to them as? Like a dopamine is happiness, and adrenaline's part of anger and all that, whatever.
Yeah.
Serotonin and sadness.
You made me think at the park. I thought about it for days after.
Yeah, and what'd you conclude?
I still think everything comes down to a thought. Something triggered an emotion or something. And I think anytime somebody talks to a counselor, they're always like, especially I had to go through drug and alcohol counseling when I turned myself in for the little ganja back at 18. And when I went through it, that's what they taught is, things come from a trigger. And so I do believe everything comes from a thought. Now, I don't think everything comes from a conscious thought, if that makes sense. Because I can't never remember the percentage, but like 70% of our thoughts are subconscious.
What does it mean?
Conscious.
What's a conscious?
So the way I had it explained to me from Dr. Craig Manning's book was our conscious is what we're thinking right now. And our basically I describe it to people like your phone. Your conscious is the tab you're on right now. Your subconscious is all the other tabs running in the background.
Really? So we're like, it's kind of posing as our brain is it's a computer
kind
interface.
Of. That's the way.
So much RAM.
Yeah, that's the way I kind of think of it. Because I think like right now we have our lungs breathing, our blood pumping, all of that stuff going. It all requires thought. They've proven that. Like our brain has to power it. But I'm not sitting consciously thinking of the blood in my left ear right now. So that's the way I kind of visualize it, is because I only ever think one thing at a time. Like I'm terrible at multitasking. And I'd argue most people are that way. We just think we're good at it.
So you believe in the spirit?
Yes.
Like there's a human spirit. We're kind of avatars. There's something beyond just this reality.
Yeah, 100%.
We've talked about this. I understand it's kind of where you lie. I'm the same way. I understand it's pretty biased, but it feels beautiful, and I hope it's true. Anyways, so where do you think the spirit plays a role in these tabs, in these thoughts? Do you think... So is that supposed to control your emotions? Is that what you think?
So I think emotions are... How do I want to say this? I think emotions are the byproduct of stuff going in our head, either thoughts or something, but I think we can control it with practice. Like, I don't think it's just easy to be like, today I'm choosing to be happy. If you're like, let's use our age, I'm 30. If I have 30 years of every day being negative, I'm not just going to change my thought next day.
So there are biological imperfections that people cannot overcome. Like disease, cancer, some things happen to your body that you can't defeat. People like to actually claim that your mind can defeat these things, but it's not very scientific because it's not replicatable. Yeah. You can't count on consistency from that mind power idea. Although I feel like there's got to be truth to it. Like the freaking water experiment where they freeze the things. Yeah. There's not much going on for those crystals being perfect when you say nice words to it and then being ugly when you say ugly words to it. Yeah. But it's like, hey, look, it's beautiful and we want to be beautiful or something. I don't know. Right. I have had the mind power. Let me finish this real quick. The mind power can overcome to a limit. It seems in our world, there's only so much. There comes to a point where if your biology is imbalanced, you're not going to be able to fix it on mind power unless you're part of this like lucky miracle group. Yeah. At what point can people reach those limits when it comes to hormonal imbalances and things that make them unable to combat the feelings they have inside because their body's working against them, making them feel down, and they can't overcome this down feeling because of their biology? Yeah. I don't know. How in depth do you want me to go on this? Fully answer? In depth. So, I personally think and this kind of goes into what I was going to say too. One of the issues kind of with science, and this will relate, I promise, but is science is really good at discovering the problem and why, but science never brings into account purpose. And I think that's where these miracles, like you were talking, miracle people, when they have special incidences that defy science, a lot of it to me comes down to purpose. And this is kind of how when I'm training salespeople, how I describe it is I'm like, if I had told you to go to bed at your normal time, say you go to bed every night at 11, and tomorrow I said you have to be up at 2 a.m., and I made you get up, how tired are you the next day? If you only got 3 hours of sleep, you're exhausted. But if you're going to like Costa Rica or Turkey or someplace for the very first time, you're not tired the next day because you have a purpose and you're excited. And I think that science never accounts for the purpose part. And I think purpose or intent has a lot to do with what we're doing, as far as like our mental health, stuff like that. Pretty much anything. I think intent and purpose are really crucial, if that makes sense. Being excited about tomorrow's trip and not being able to sleep feels like it's in the same family as being nervous.
Yeah.
Because you're not looking forward to tomorrow and you can't sleep.
Right. Okay. Maybe I'll use a different example. Me with getting up early. So I love to get up at 4 a.m. I have not done this in 2 years, and I think this is actually going to explain it and why. But back in the day when I had a really big, successful company in my eyes, I'd get up at 4, go to bed at 11, never tired, ever. And I just lived off 5 hours of sleep for like 2 years because I was excited about what I was doing.
Look at you. You're a glowing, healthy specimen of a human.
I know, but that's when I was losing weight and in the gym every day and stuff like that. But then since that all happened.
What'd you get your weight down to then?
It was like 260, but I was 360 when I started.
Oh, really?
Grand Valley Air.
Oh, so you dropped 100.
Yeah, so I dropped over 100. And then, you know how my weight's been. Yeah. Always back up to 300. And then if 300, I freak out and it's back down.
Yeah, and what are you right now?
Like 290.
Well, you were just into the 300s and had to freak out.
Yeah, when was 315 about a month and a half ago.
A month and a half ago. So
and now I'm down 25 pounds.
We're in June.
Yep.
A month and a half ago, April.
Yeah.
You were 300 in April?
Yep.
What were you in January?
315 in March, but in January, I was like 275.
And December to January, remember that revolution?
Yep.
And you were like, I'm changing.
Within 2 weeks, and then I stopped vaping, and then I ate everything in sight, and then I just kept eating. And then I was back up to 315.
Wait, what happened? Why'd you start eating?
That's when I tried to quit vaping the first time. And then I was just snacking, and I was like, I've lost like 100 pounds. I'll be fine. And then 1 week turned into 2 of me snacking too. And then I was like, no more vaping or no more. I got to vape again or I'm going to get fat. And so I started vaping again, but I never stopped the eating. And then boom, I'm vaping and 315.
Damn. Like now you're quitting vaping again.
Yep.
Yeah. Now he's all grumpy as hell.
Yeah. I'm sorry, dude. That was, I felt so bad. I had a blow up on Jason on FaceTime this morning. I was totally a bitch.
Oh, what? Why were you a bitch?
Just because I didn't like, it's so funny because here I am talking about how thoughts lead to emotions. And then this morning with the no nicotine, like you were just like, dude, because I had talked about that I did a 2.5 mile walk this morning. I was like, I did 3 miles and you're like, I don't even remember. But later I was like 2.5.
I thought you were going to say you were being a bitch because of that.
Actually. Oh, that too.
I thought this was the bitch part. Mark tells me, oh, I've had a good day. I hiked 3 miles. And then I'm like, oh, really? What? How much weight did you have in your bag? And he goes, oh, I didn't have a bag. I was like, so you walked 3 miles? What'd you do? And he's like, because then I told you the difference between hiking and walking, at least for the Marines. Rucksacking means you got a fucking backpack.
Yep.
And I mean, if you were on green little shorts, green little shirt outside, and we just went for a walk, like a fast walk, we wouldn't call that a hike, I don't think. So I'm from a biased perspective of that. Yeah. Anyways. So you went on a walk this morning.
Yep. Good
job to you. And it was 2.5 miles is what he says. It was like more like 2.5 miles. I'll say, wait, you told me 3. You're like, yeah, 2.5 miles, 3. Like it was about 2.5. And I was like, then don't say 3 because you're lying. If I run 3.8 miles, I don't say I ran 4 miles because that 0.2 eats at me. I'm like, I know I quit early. So then you got pissed off.
I don't know why. Dude, it was like simple math. You were totally right. And all of a sudden I was just like rage. Like I haven't felt that way in probably like 2 months. Like me and my wife just almost split up and I felt madder in that 2 seconds.
Yeah, you were pissed. I've never seen you so angry, honestly.
Dude, I don't know what happened. Like
and he's quitting the vape again. He goes through these but he's not losing. He's not eating like shit this time.
Nope, I'm not, which is making it even harder because last time how I got through it was a bunch of cookies and McDonald's, and now it's let's go work out anytime I want to kill something.
Yeah, today we did a rehab on our knees.
Yeah,
because you got a bad
old
surgery on your knee and stuff. Both of us got bad right knees now. Yep. I think I got a patella tendon tear, a small one. I think.
Really?
Yeah. Because I can rehab it. It's like one where you run a lot, but yeah, it's almost good. I think after after our knee day today, where we did a bunch of knee exercises, leg extensions and things that strengthen that quad. Hopefully, it'll feel better by the time I go to Turkey this weekend.
Oh yeah, you're going to Turkey this weekend. Yeah. That'll be fun. How long are you there?
I think I'll probably be gone a total of a week. Okay, is my guess.
Perfect.
I'm still waiting on the ticket
next week.
Oh really?
So, yep.
Yeah, I'm still waiting on the tickets. They always give me the tickets last second.
Really?
Yeah, I still don't have tickets.
That would stress me out.
Yeah,
a little bit.
Ponder about the future. My thoughts turned into emotions of anxiety.
Yeah. I just, for some reason, people get so stressed out about stuff that they don't even know. Like here's an example. One time I was driving machines for a sales trip to Fargo, North Dakota from Meridian, Idaho. And I blew a tire on the way out there from in between Meridian and here. So within the first 2 hours, I got to drive another 20. So instead I take my sister's car. I load 30 Hylas, so I have like 15 Hylas stacked on top of the car. I wish I had a picture because they're like 3 high. It's like twice the size of the car.
Oh my gosh.
Strapped to the roof, and I get all the way through Montana, and right when I get to North Dakota, her fuel pump goes out, and I can only go 30 miles an hour on the freeway. And so I called the team that I was taking the machines to, and I said, hey, I broke down a little bit. I'm going to be a couple hours later. I'm just going to rent a car once I get to the next town and keep going, and then I'll come back here and figure out my car. They were freaking out for like the whole next day. I got like 50 calls from the office, like, what's going on? You're broken down. Are we going to lose out on all this money? And everybody's freaking out. And I'm like, I can still go 30. I'm going to rent a car. Like, why is this a big deal?
I think the problem there was it doesn't seem like they communicated the solution well to the boss.
Yeah.
They're just like, he broke down. Then you go, he broke down, but it's all good. He's got it taken care of. He's going to do this plan.
Yeah. Well, even the boss was freaking out. Like, she's like, do you need me to get you a car? Like anything?
That's
like
probably trying to show like empathy. Like, we care about you. We're your workplace. We care.
Yeah.
We do need help.
I think she was more worried about the $30,000 sitting on a car.
They're like, can we trust this guy to strap it on top of a rental?
I didn't even tell her. She didn't even know that I didn't take my truck. She didn't know they were strapped on the car.
That's freaky, dude. And did you get them all there?
Yeah.
And when did they see you pull in, and where were they?
I was like 8 hours later because they didn't end up having a rental car, and I drove the 30 miles on the interstate. I never even got pulled over, which shocked me. But I drove across all of North Dakota at 30 miles an hour in the 80 mile an hour freeway. And I made it to Fargo just fine. Instead of making it there at 10 o'clock that day, in the morning, I made it at like 10 o'clock at night. And they missed one day.
I swear you are the king, though, at overcoming shit that should make most people like shit themselves at night. Because you've gone through some shit.
I have.
Where I'm like, dude, how are you not freaking the fuck out? You're like, it's going to be all right. I'm like, all right.
It's always going to be all right. What's the worst thing that could happen?
You get your head chopped off in front of your family.
And then I'm dead and I don't have to deal with it or worry about it. That's their thing.
Okay, the worst thing is your family gets
that would bug me
in front of you.
Yep. That would. Yeah. I'd probably volunteer to just have them whack my head off so I wouldn't have to see it, and it's not my problem then if my head's gone.
That's the worst part about this existence. It's not even for at least for men.
Yeah.
I don't know, most men. I mean, for me, I get more worried about my family than I do myself.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, don't want shit to happen to them. Whoa. Did it just cut out?
For half a second.
It did just cut out for a second.
I did hear that.
That was weird. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you were tying that story into a meaningful lesson.
Oh, yeah. I had a point on that I can't remember now, but something anxiety. It had to do with the anxiety thing.
Yeah, you're like, most people should just...
It was about being calm, but then I had a point that I was going to relate it back, and now I can't think of it.
You get terrible news. How do you get over it?
How do I get over it? Trying to think of the positive.
What if, I mean, let me think of an instance.
Okay.
What was your puppy's name?
Patches.
Yep,
she just passed away last year. Spot.
Yeah, and you were sad as hell.
For 2 days, yep.
Yeah, so why didn't you just start being happy during those 2 days?
I did a couple times off and on.
You're like, I was riding a roller coaster at Lagoon.
That is probably true. I think I did do that right after it. I love Lagoon. I just, we all need time to process, but sometimes, and I talked about this earlier, Harvard did a study where 70% of the thoughts we had, I flipped that number.
This 30%. Guy, don't trust. He dropped out of high school. Don't trust these stats. No, straight up. And I tell people this in sales meetings and stuff all the time. I mess up numbers all the time. So the stories and principles are always sound, but the numbers are usually 95% of the time fucking wrong. Like 48% of the time. I mean, or was it 68?
Yeah, like There was one time I was doing a sales meeting and I used 2 studies and I mixed them up and everybody called me out after the meeting and I'm like, but the point was the same. Just listen to the point.
Yeah, but don't use stats, man. Yeah. Then you can't be trusted. That's actually the problem with stats is you actually need to do like a works cited. Yeah. According to Harvard Business Journal.
Right.
I read that it said this.
Yeah.
Then you sound like you know what the fuck you're saying.
Right. And the funny thing is, though, if I were to do that, most of the time stats change so often.
When stats matter so much on the population.
Yeah.
And there's so many intricate things involved to get super accurate readings. It's just like the most probable. It's like blackjack when you get it refined down and you go, okay, the count is +5.
Yeah.
And, I just do I hit? Like I got 12. Do I hit? I wouldn't because I'm going to get a big card go down. And I don't, and it goes up, and then the dealer gets 21 and I lose. So what the fuck? The statistical odds are supposed to be in my favor.
Right.
But there's still chaos.
You know what I would have done there?
What?
Just looked at you and been like, Jason, do I hit this?
Yeah, you haven't lost yet.
I was going to say, you haven't let me down yet. I've come home with more money every time.
Yeah.
Better keep that streak up.
Yeah, we're going to go back to the casinos after this. Some casino owner's going to listen to this podcast and they're just going to fucking grab us some bouncers and beat the shit out of us in the back. No, we're good promotion. We're promoting people. Get out there to your local blackjack dealer. Drop some 5s. Tip a 1.
Yep.
Come on.
Make some money. Make everybody happy.
But I fucking love the people at the casinos.
Yeah.
Especially the people who are there in the middle of the day and shit. They're just such interesting people. They're like, what are you doing here in the middle of the week, in the middle of the day? Like, these fucking drunks.
Dude, that's my favorite part to go is when you could go and just drink because they bring you the drinks for free.
Yeah, it's fun to hang out with that crowd. They're always usually pretty lively anyways, too. Yeah. They want to talk. Like, hey. Well, one time I met I went and sat down with this one guy sitting alone. There's 2 tables open. Yeah. One guy sitting alone. I come and join him because it's a blackjack table. You can work off of me too. Like if I fucking bust, you know what I mean, or something. Yeah. Anyways, I go sit down and he colors up, gets his things and moves. He goes sits at the table next to us. I was like, wow. I said it loud too.
Did you?
I was like, wow. Okay, thanks a lot. He was some European guy who was, I don't know what he was like vacationing from Europe, and he was in fucking Nevada jackpot, just blowing money in the middle of the day.
Jackpot, Nevada, population like under 100 besides the workers there during the day.
He looked really pale too.
Really?
And I'm like, dude, you're not out there bathing in the fucking Southern California sun. You're just hiding in the casino in Nevada. That's probably a dark fucking vacation.
Yeah.
Isn't prostitution legal in Nevada?
Yes. I don't know.
Pale, dude. I'm already defining this guy.
I'm assuming I know. But
that guy's a piece of shit. Trust me. I can feel the vibe. When he left my table, I was like, what a piece of shit.
Right. Dang.
Okay, so tell us about
my
journey of how you became larger.
I've been fat my whole life.
Me and Mark have known each other a very long time, if you don't know.
Yeah.
Since we were children.
Like 5.
5?
That's when I moved to Buell. It was 5.
And when did I come into the Spanish branch? Was I in there before that?
No, not 5.
We were at church
I think
together.
we were 8, 7 or 8.
7 or 8, yeah.
Yeah.
Because I had got baptized. My mom.
Yeah, because I said 5. 5 is when we moved to Buell, but we didn't start going to the branch until right before I got baptized.
Yeah, and that's 7. When we started being around each other at church.
Yeah, was at church.
And you were a homeschool kid.
Yep.
And we always thought you were chubby back then. We always thought you were the chubby kid.
I was the chubby kid.
But looking back, you were really chubby back then.
I don't think I was really chubby until about 15.
And then you got chubby.
But I don't, honestly.
What was that? It was because of Don's, right? Don's is the thing that you got the job at Don's. You start eating ice cream every day.
No, I was a little heavier before that.
Oh, really?
It was right when I dropped out of freshman year, when I dropped back out of high school. And then I was at home sitting and just teaching myself because my mom didn't help. She just bought me the school book. So
that's why he gets his statistics wrong.
Exactly. So once I dropped out freshman year, my mom bought me the books, and then she'd be like, study, and then she'd leave, and I'd just do what I wanted. And I was just sitting at home eating, and that's when I.
What would you eat?
Just mostly cereal.
Oh, really? A healthy breakfast?
No, not healthy cereal. Captain Crunch. That's my go-to.
Captain Crunch?
Yeah.
Is that the one with the marshmallows?
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
And it scrapes the
I thought that was Marshmallow really Mateys.
That one has marshmallows too. Captain Crunch is the yellow with the berries.
Yeah. Oh, the yellow balls?
Yeah. It's called Colossal Berry.
No, Colossal Berry is the best. See, you guys were actually getting the bougie Captain Crunch.
That's the generic version, but I would get bougie Captain.
You could get the big old bag of Colossal what?
Crunch.
Colossal Crunch for like half the price.
Yeah. And then I put on, honestly, where I put on the most amount of weight, I put on 100 pounds the year I married Jenna.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
You're like, fuck it, got her.
No, what happened was it was my ACL because I tore my ACL on my mission, came home. And then I just sat for 6 months down. The only thing I did was go to physical therapy because I had 3 surgeries. And every day I was eating, my mom was bringing me McDonald's, Wendy's, anything every day.
How much were you eating then? Because you told us that your McDonald's staple.
That's where that staple came from.
Okay,
was back then.
Lay it down. What's the staple?
Guys, this is embarrassing. I can't believe I'm about to admit this, but I would eat this. This has been my staple since I was 18 years old at McDonald's. Okay, and there's 2 of them, so it depends. They're both terrible, but first one is you get the crispy chicken sandwich, not a McChicken, not the little one,
the meal,
the big one, and then I would add 3 pieces of bacon and cheese on there. And then a large fry, a 20-piece chicken nugget, 2 cheeseburgers, a 3-piece cookie, occasionally add on a McChicken, and then a hot fudge sundae with caramel at M&M's, and a large Dr. Pepper.
And he would just put that fucking sundae in the freezer for later.
Yeah, that was...
You couldn't fit it all in one meal.
Yeah, that was my meal. That was a meal, though. Sometimes I'd eat that twice a day. It's about 7,400 calories.
7,400 calories for one meal.
And sometimes I'd eat that twice a day. So
15,000 calories. You probably snacked a little bit.
Yeah.
You probably got 20,000 calories a day.
I made freaking Michael Phelps when everybody brags that he could eat 8,000 calories in a day. That was like
one meal.
You had a snack, dude.
Yeah. You're like, what's he bragging about? It's one meal.
I don't really think... I've always eaten this way ever since scout camp, but I was always active. I was always summer hiking in the mountains.
But you did like to look at the deer.
Yeah. There's a couple stories.
That was great.
Yeah.
I remember the first time I heard that, I was like, what do you mean he likes to look at the deer? Oh, he's fat. Yeah. I'm just kidding. Because Mark would stop and watch while we're hiking. Mark would take lots of breaks to look at nature and be like,
I was always the last one. Every
like, what's he doing back there? Oh, he likes to look at nature. He's looking for deer. That's what they'd always say.
No, Mark was fat as fuck and was out of wind and had to sit.
That's hilarious. That's cool. That's cool on them for keeping your back, watching your back.
I didn't know they said that. I didn't know they ever said that.
Oh, really? Oh.
Yeah, you just told me that.
Oh, just now?
Yeah.
This is breaking news?
Yeah, that's why you started laughing. And I was thinking of something else.
Oh, what were you thinking of?
The time that I got stuck in the snow in the South Hills looking for deer with my sister, because that's my most embarrassing deer story. I'll tell it in a second.
Okay, yeah. Finish your thought on.
Yeah, but no, I probably put on the most amount of weight though when I tore my ACL, because I was playing basketball every day for like 2 or 3 hours. I love basketball, but I'd eat that much, and I was still 200 pounds, and I'm 5'3".
He continues to play basketball to this day, but just virtually. Digitally. I
can make 3 3-pointers in a row before I'm winded, and then I'm done for the day.
Oh, no, you cannot.
I can.
No. You got a basketball court nearby.
Yeah, come over. I have a hoop. I have the ball. Well, I don't have a ball anymore. That's what I was looking for.
How about we challenge? We have to have a game of pig.
Yeah.
Let's see.
Dude, I'm down. I am a good shot.
Really? You got a lot of reps?
I'm the best.
You watched a lot of those coaches online, huh?
Basketball. I've used basketball, how I became a good shooter, in sales training all the time.
Oh, really?
Because I remember in 6th grade, I was the shortest and fattest kid on the team, so they wouldn't play me. In 5th and 6th grade, Coach Kagan's dad was the coach.
Yeah.
And then in 6th or 7th grade, we had Coach Kentrell, and he had so many people on the team. He kept everybody. I think we had 18 kids on the team that year. And we played a 5th quarter, and I was the worst one. Even Logan and Dylan, everybody played but me. I played in 2 games that year. I think I made a minute. And it was that year I was like, I will play next year. And every day for like 2 hours, I went to the church, and I just practiced shooting every day. And by the end of that year, I could outshoot anybody. I could outshoot Pablo, everybody. And then
Pablo ain't got shit. Pablo just fast and ripped.
Yeah, he could shoot.
Oh, really?
Yeah, same with Tyler McLeod.
I think Pablo wrestled a little bit.
He did.
And so did Tyler.
Yeah. This was the year everybody quit because everybody hated Mr. LaCroix. and I could get it because I had
practiced. And that's how you got your court time, motherfucker.
I never played it.
Oh, really?
8th grade. So what happened was I practiced all year. I finally made it as a good shot. And then my uncle died the year of tryouts. And I went to California and Coach LaCroix wouldn't let me play. So I was the manager that year.
That's crazy. That's all in middle school?
Yep. In 8th grade.
Wow. And I was wrestling the whole time, so I never saw you.
You were wrestling.
Did I see you after? Did we see each other after?
Yeah, you guys would come over. You and Gage would always come over, walking over together while we were finishing up practice. And then Gage and I sometimes would shoot.
Really? And was Gage good?
Yeah, Gage, he wrestled.
Trash. He's just as good as his wrestling. Trash.
I don't know. This was all at middle school before it even mattered.
I used to drip sweat straight onto Gage's face when we'd wrestle because you know how sweaty I am. But that's why I love this short hair. Show everybody your hair. Come on.
No.
Show them the back of your hair. We got to log this in.
The back of my head?
Check this out.
Okay, guys. So,
great haircut.
Why am I strangling myself with the headphones? But I shaved my head the other day. Yeah, this was literally last night. Then I was like, Mom, can you clean up the back for me? There's a couple little spots I can't see. And she's like, yeah. And she was almost done, and then she sneezed.
And did this beautiful piece of artwork. Oh, we got to zoom in on that. Oh, that's beautiful. That's stylish, dude.
So, yeah, I had that happen today. That's why the hat's been backwards most.
It's got like a 2001 A Space Odyssey, that pillar, monolith.
Monolith?
Have you seen that movie?
No.
Dang, yeah, you need to watch that. They made that movie in the 60s.
Really?
And it's epic. It's like a ballet. It's beautiful. Really, the music matters so much when it comes to movies.
Yes, it does.
The music reflects the mood of what's the class. If you got beautiful classical music, it feels like you're watching a beautiful classical masterpiece.
Yeah. I think music... I don't even know where I'm going to go with this, but I just love music. Yeah. I think music helps us remember, though.
So, wait, you did really good and you got on the team, right? And you did good?
No, I was...
How'd the happy ending go?
Oh, there wasn't a happy ending, but my point was I could outshoot, so I couldn't
it's just
play.
Like your sales life.
Kind of, honestly. But
it started out motivated, then didn't have a happy ending.
Well, no, just the happy ending was one time Pablo and Tyler were like trying to get Coach LaCroix to let me play because we only had 4 players. We were going to have to forfeit a match. And he was like, Mark can't even shoot. And Tyler was like, well, let's find out. And threw me a 3, the ball. And he's like, shoot it. And I was just past the 3 and I swished it. And
they were like, oh.
Yeah, everybody was like, oh, yeah. That was the day I remember because Bryce and Pablo got in a fight that day. And that's when Pablo Serrano punched out Bryce.
Oh, really?
Teeth. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Because I had to clean up the blood because I was the manager.
Damn, his teeth got fucked up.
Yeah, I was there. I watched it. I had to clean it up.
Damn, that was crazy.
Yeah. That was the same day that I made the 3.
That was before Cam Bradley incident?
Yeah.
So then you weren't Yep. You weren't passing out.
Yeah.
If it would have been after, you would have passed out. You would have been like, I got it. Someone else clean this.
Oh, yeah. That was years before. That was like 14. Really? The Bradley incident
middle
was
school.
Like 17. That was my last year. That was mine and Christian's last year as lifeguards at Bradley that summer that we had the deer.
You guys both got traumatized.
He didn't. He's a man.
He just went and learned how to fucking fight people.
Yeah, so. He went and became cool, and I can't watch.
No, you went and became a baller for a while.
Yeah.
There was an era. Tell us about the era of ballin' Mark.
Dude, it's in the future. It's going to be in the next little bit. But another time was what?
What are you saying?
I'm trying to say it's not over. I'm going to have another
the
round.
is not over.
Like,
okay.
I'm not a baller. I'm just look at that.
Baller on a pause.
Yeah.
No.
I'm coming back to
this era where you were the most
yeah,
you were the most ballin'. Tell us the story.
So I mean, what do you want to know?
So how did you get so much money? You had a fucking badass new truck. You were throwing money like, let me take you to dinner.
I was making $200,000 a year for the high school dropout. I was pretty proud of that though.
Yeah, that's a cool era.
Like
you and one of your buddies partnered up and started selling vacuums.
Built a business. So it was
right. It was Hyla.
Yeah, Hyla. So what happened was I had sold door to door and been in sales for farming equipment, and I had gotten somebody recruited me to sell vacuums here in Twin. And there was this guy that he was actually the one I shadowed on my very first demo. Was I went and watched my buddy Nick,
your teacher.
Yeah, so he was the very first person to show me a Hyla demo, and I remember sitting there and being like, "This guy don't know how to sell. This is painful." The whole time. And Nick laughs at this story the whole time because literally the lady was like, "Oh, I'll write you a check. I'll just got to go to the bank and take it out." And Nick was like, "No, you got to finance this." I mean, he was brand new. Like, it was terrible. But anyway, him and I ended up teaching him how to sell a little bit because I'd already been in sales and we became pretty good friends. And about 5 years later, we both opened a store in Grand Junction and we ended up being number 1 in the world in our organization. So set records and made a bunch of money and then
bought a new truck.
Yep. Made a bunch of stupid mistakes and it all came crashing. I have it down to about 4 or 5.
Okay. So you were balling. You guys got this fucking thing going. The engine is greased and oiled. You're making a shit ton of money. And then this happens and fucks up the machine.
Yep. Couple different things all happen around the same time. And I will say every one of these is my fault. Mine or Nick's. So there's no blame.
Okay.
It's mostly shared. But first one was, I would say we did not create systems in enough time. We grew a big business, but we kept trying to run that business like we did when we had 5 people. And it was small and trying to be involved in everything. And you just can't do it when you have 50 people under you. It's not possible. And you saw the texts and stuff I used to send you. And you got to have systems, which is something I'm trying to teach the guy I work for right now. Systems is number 1. Second thing is make sure you're
And what do you mean by accounting. Systems? A hierarchy? A structured hierarchy?
Yeah, I'd say
and
like
responsibilities.
Yeah, having systems and stuff in place so people don't have to come to you every day. Giving them their job and their role.
Decentralizing command.
Exactly.
Okay.
I'm glad you said that word because I could not think of it for a second.
All right, so number 2.
Yep. Number 2, make sure your accounting is set up right because that one really bit us in the ass. This is probably the biggest mistake we did. We hired somebody, love her to death. Ash, if you see this, love you.
Why call her out by her name, damn.
I mean, just inexperienced. She didn't do anything wrong. This is ultimately my fault, but I put her in a position. I didn't set her up for success. I didn't learn the stuff first, and a couple mistakes were made, both by her and me. And
accounting wise?
Didn't pay our sales tax for 3/4 of a year.
That seems like baseline knowledge, though.
Yeah.
She was an accountant?
It is. No, we made her into an accountant.
She wasn't even an accountant? No, you always told me my accountant, remember?
I used to call her my accountant.
Is this the one that also said you couldn't write off things?
Yes.
The one who isn't an accountant, but you made her an accountant?
Yes.
And why did you think you could make somebody an accountant?
Because I was more confident back then.
You're like, you don't need school, just do it.
I didn't go to school. I thought everybody could be me and just learn something. And the thing is, I think I'm the greatest learner, but like I said, I don't take a lot of action.
Yours is just persuasion.
Yeah.
It's persuasion and conversation. It's not like, hey man, I watched the guys on the Bryan Bridge doing maintenance. I could do it. Come on.
Right. That's how I thought about it though. It's so stupid, but that's how Nick and I did it. And so sales tax didn't get paid. And at the same time, sales tax didn't get paid. So we got a $300,000 bill from a certain agency called the government. The IRS. At the same time, he found out he was going through a separation and a bunch of stuff. All it really did, though, was it exposed us. This stuff would have happened, and I feel bad because I don't want anybody to go through some of the stuff I've had to go through. I mean, I lived in the office for 6 months. You came to visit me one night while I was living in the office. But at the same time, I think if it hadn't happened, we didn't build it right anyway, and it was gonna blow up. And I'm kind of grateful it happened when we were doing X amount with 4 stores instead of a bigger amount with more. So at the same time, that's kind of like what we were talking about at the beginning of the podcast. I'm always looking for the lesson in something. And I think that's why I can stay positive.
That's funny. Anyways, on to serious things. I didn't mean to push that one. I meant to push this one. Hell yeah, brother. That's what I'm talking about. All right. Yeah. Also, one thing I think was a noticing factor. Like I would come and visit you at the office and hang out, and you'd force me to be there when you work sometimes.
Yeah.
and I would be trapped at his workplace. But I would see that you and your employees back then were like super homies.
That is something I hate to admit, because it's so tough when you're building something and you're so passionate about it and it's yours, and it's like, that's my whole life. Besides you, all my friends were employees on my payroll, which, guys, if you want a lesson to be happy, your friends should never be on your payroll because they're not real friends. As soon as that payroll stops, see how long they stay your friend. I've had that for a couple of times. So when Nick and I start going broke, and we're like,
fucker, I've been on your payroll before.
Have you?
Detailing.
Oh, yeah.
I've come and helped you detail.
That's true.
Yeah, I'm still
You're
here.
a brother, though. I count you as family, so you don't count. But
okay, so anyways.
Yeah, but
everybody else, once the business was over, the relationship was over.
Yeah, kind of.
One thing my friend Jesse, my barber, he told me was you can make, someone told him this, that you make friends out of clients easier than you'll make clients out of friends.
I agree with that.
Yeah, and that's kind of like, that's not the work employee thing, but
yeah,
interesting. But are they your friends before or after you hire them?
Well, never before. I've never hired a friend because of a friend.
Okay, so they were your employee. You became friends with them, and then it was over, and they left. And you're like, hey, what about our friendship?
Yeah, that's honestly, like, I'm not gonna say his name.
Just say a guy. Just continue.
There's a guy you started before Nick and I had partnered. So Nick had the store before. I had a store here in Twin Falls. Both of us sucked. So a good Hyla store sells about 30 machines a month. We were both selling like 5 individually. So we're like, we're best friends. Let's maybe together we'll do 10. And instead we were selling 125 a month, like crushing numbers together. So that was kind of that. But like, there's this kid I hired. First of all, terrible sales guy. Some of the craziest stories I have are houses he's been in, but we became really good friends, and he did really good, turned into a great sales guy. I made him a manager. When we opened our second store in Utah, I had him run that store. And then when I moved to Utah, I decided it was a great idea to make him a roommate. And then when Nick and I were going broke and I quit paying myself, one thing I had been very generous was because I made a lot more money than this kid. I never charged him rent. But he was supposed to, $500 a month was the agreement.
Okay.
And he hadn't paid me in a year. So that's $6,000 he owed me. And I was like, dude, forget that. But now that we're not making money, because I'm still paying him, so I know what he's making. I'm writing his checks every week, and I'm not paying myself.
Yeah, you were stupid for not paying yourself.
Yep.
Because then it made you put the power in his hands. Why'd you even do that?
Yeah, it was even worse. It's stupid because I care about people, and I always think I can fix the problem. So watch the other person.
This is literally you. I'm going to be honorable and not take money. Here you go. No. Can I have 500?
Even worse. I think I'm so arrogant that I think I'm the only one that can solve a problem, that I'm like, I can fix it. But these people don't know what they're doing. So let me help them, and then I'll deal with me. And then what happens is I didn't end up helping anybody, because you can't pour water out of an empty glass. Like, you got to take care of yourself first. Like, basic things they teach you on a plane when you're 2 years old, like put your own mask on first, then help your neighbor. Some reason I think I was gone that day. Although I think that's changed over.
Yeah, you used to be very vulnerable to wanting to help people so bad.
All the time. I'd pull over on the side of the freeway if somebody's hazards were on. Every time.
I help people too.
Yeah.
But I don't hire homeless people on the run. Like that's you, true. Dude. You hire homeless people. They'll make a stellar employee. They're fucking out shooting up and shit, and like sleeping in the office, being a horrible employee.
That's such a funny story. We almost have to tell that one.
Tell me. What I don't even remember it very well.
It was 3 homeless people.
Oh my fucking.
Excuse me. Sorry, that was really
you got to burp right into the mic. All right, so you were where, Colorado?
Yeah, I was in Grand Junction, and so Nick and I, we had our store. We had just hired like 20 new people, and I needed help training them. So Hyla sent this guy from Arkansas. Weirdest dude I had ever met. I had never met him before, but they brought him in to help me train my salespeople. He had like the triangle that's on $1, like the all-seeing eye, shaved into the back of his head. And this guy's like
Illuminati?
Yeah, but this guy's like in his late 50s.
Okay.
Little skinny white guy. Really good salesperson.
Oh, is this the schizophrenic?
No, totally different guy. I've trained hundreds of people, but this one, he was there to help me train. And one day he walks into my office and he's like, Mark, I just hired you 3 new salespeople. And I'm like, awesome. I can't say his name, but I was like, awesome, dude. I'm so excited. He's like, let me introduce you. And these 3 guys that look like they just came off a bus walk into my office. And he's like, here, this is... And they ended up all giving fake names. So it was Jason and 2 other guys. He was the main problem. And they're like...
The Jason guy?
Yeah.
It's always Jason.
Right. Always Jason. Anyway, I hired them. They had no place to go. Turns out they had been on a Greyhound bus going to California from Michigan. And they ran out of money and they got kicked off the bus in Grand Junction and were stranded. And so me feeling bad and having a heart, and my partner Nick, also, who thinks the same way I do, hired these 3. And we had a company car, and we were like, you guys can sleep out in the car at night. We don't want you on the street. And so the first 2 nights, we let them sleep there. Then I felt bad, and I let them go into the office. And then Nick and I, we actually rented a house for salespeople that would travel. And we were like, let's throw these guys in. Now, I've never even run a background check. I'm not even sure these people's names.
How dirty did they look?
They weren't that dirty. You could tell like they'd been wearing clothes for like maybe a week, but they weren't like homeless.
Okay.
It didn't look like
underpass dirty.
Yeah, it wasn't like that. So
okay.
And they were really good too. So we didn't hire them to sell. We didn't know these people, but we hired them to go door to door to do little surveys to get us leads. Yeah, they did amazing for like a month.
You were sending people without background check, homeless dudes, to people's front doors?
Yeah, bad decisions. So, the lesson learned. That's why I said nothing's bad. It's just a lesson.
So when did this start taking a turn?
Okay, so all of a sudden, their second payday, I wrote them their check. So the deal I made with them was if one of their leads sold, I paid them for the lead. But if a lead sold that they got, I gave them a $50 bonus. Well, they, for some reason, one day walked in and thought they got the sales guy's commission because they generated the lead. So they thought they were going to make like $800 every time one of those leads sold. And we were like, no, that's not the agreement. Like, here's what we did. And so they went and they trashed our Hyla house that night. We had to call the cops. And I had to go over with the police and have them removed. And then, of course, we had to fire them that night because they trashed our house. They threatened me with a knife in front of the cops. Yeah, the cops were like, he's just a threat, freedom of speech, but if he makes a step towards you, we'll arrest you. Yeah, dude, I was pissed. I was just sitting in my car.
That can't be right.
I'm serious.
Like, that's not freedom of speech, pulling a knife out on someone.
I don't think it was right, but that's what the cop said.
What if I pulled out a gun and pointed it at you? Is that freedom of speech?
She's wrong because I just watched a lawyer thing about this the other day from, you know how I watch the cop videos. So, but that's what she said at the time, and it made sense. There's 20 cops around me because we had said he had a knife. And so I wasn't like worried, but I was like, what happens later? Well, we didn't hear from him for like 3 days, these 3. And then one night I'm at home and my sister calls me freaking out. She worked for me. And the guy Jason is there saying, I need to talk to Mark or Nick. And he has a knife to her. And this is 9:00 at night. The store's closed. He knew where we kept the spare key because we just kept the key under the mat. Soraya's working in there.
Soraya?
Yeah. With the younger my sister, little Soraya, the one I pushed in front of a dog. Gosh. The same one. And my phone room is there. So I had a phone room of 5 call center ladies, all senior citizens that would work their night part-time. And he's in there alone with them. And I'm clear across Grand Junction. And so I ended up, Soraya texted me. I called the police and I raced over there. He ended up getting mad because it took me 20 minutes to get there, and he thought Soraya was stalling, but eventually he just ran out. But I beat the police there, and the cops didn't show up for 2 hours. And then I was like, we'll never hire a homeless person again.
Yeah, they held my sister at knife point.
The end. And then they ended up, I saw it on the news a couple days later, he ended up giving a fake name. He had been on the run for threatening a grandma with a gun in a Target parking lot in Michigan. And that's why he was on the Greyhound bus. So he's on the run, and Colorado PD picked him up, like State Patrol.
And you can continue to live life with that blissful, like, you know what? I'll always do everybody right and give everyone a chance. And if they screw me, then I go out like a saint.
No.
You could go out like that.
You could.
Or you could fight for what you love, which is life. you know?
Yeah. That was a big lesson though. I will never, and I never did. Never hired somebody without doing a background check after that.
Yeah. The worst part is it ended up threatening people you love.
Yeah.
That literally put people you love in danger.
Every single person.
Yeah. Worst
like in that office in Soraya.
Yeah.
She was terrified. However, this is going to make me sound really bad. And I feel really bad for that situation, but not as bad as the time I pushed Soraya in front of the dog.
Yeah.
I feel less of a man about that one.
Yeah. The dog could have killed your sister too.
Yeah. That was a funny one.
Her. But I mean, hey, put your mask on first and then help the others.
Yeah, but it doesn't say push the person next to you out of the plane so you can put your mask on. But
it kind of is required for you to be able to get your mask on. There's only one mask.
Yeah, so just so everybody...
You got to clear the fence first.
Right.
Sarai's probably faster than you.
No, she's just as heavy as I am.
I don't know. She seems... I feel like...
Sarai's a foot taller than me. I hate it about her.
Yeah, she's going to be faster than you.
Yeah, she's like 5'11", 5'10", 5'11", I'm 5'3".
Okay, so yeah, 1 year into your marriage, you're now 360. What'd you get?
Oh yeah, I was up to 360.
Back to the fat journey.
I totally forgot we were
back
talking
to the fat
about that.
journey.
Yeah.
So you got to 360 pounds.
Yep, fast.
And now you got into your sales thing. You started hustling. You started losing weight. Everything went to shit. You gained weight again.
Yeah.
And what were you at your peak sales era, like that era we just talked about?
About 260, 275.
Oh, really?
I was going to the gym. I was up every morning at 4:30 at the gym for 2 hours.
So then the rest of your adult life, it's bouncing back and forth.
Honestly.
Bouncing back and forth.
And I was thinking about this after kind of our conversation today, once I had some nicotine and could think again. It kind of goes back to what I was saying earlier. It's like the purpose that excites you. Like at that point, my purpose, it wasn't even about building a business or any of that. It was about becoming the best salesperson. Well, I'd say on the planet, but now I think that's really vain and ignorant. But I do think I am one of the best salesperson people. I know.
Hey, phenomenal.
Yeah, but
very eloquent.
That was like the whole purpose. So everything I did was for that. I wasn't working out to lose weight. I was working out because I wanted the endorphin so I'd have a better sales pitch. I was working out so I'd have a better sales meeting. And I was putting this together the other day. Anytime there's been a pivot in my career, I've put on a lot of weight. And I don't think it's the work. I think it's what am I working towards right now? Like last summer, I was going to detail and I was open for 2 months and I lost all that weight until the car accident.
Yeah, you were here with me. And what'd you get to?
258 is the lowest I've seen in 10 years. And that was last summer with you.
Yeah. What did we do?
Carnivore for a month.
And we were working out.
We were every day going to the canyon and you were running 3 miles.
I would run. You would walk every day.
Yep. And I could walk 6-7 miles nonstop. Now,
remember, you would get further. I would run from that viewpoint to the bridge and back, and you would go as far as you could until I got to you, and then you turn around and go back. And
I was getting farther almost every day.
Got further, yeah. You'd get further and further. At first, I'd catch your ass early.
Yeah.
And then eventually, I'd start being like, "Oh shit, he's already over here."
Yep.
Yeah, that was pretty cool. And then you got down to the 250s.
250s. That I hadn't weighed that last time. I probably weighed that was on my mission at 19 years old. And
then you left. And then you went back to Utah.
Jenna begged me to go back, and I went back, and I did really good for the first month and a half. It wasn't until the work thing. It was once I started trying to figure out, what do I do? I don't have a car down here. I don't have a job, because you guys have heard why. I don't know what to do. I worked at the aquarium for a week, and I rode a little Lime scooter the 7 miles there. And then once I didn't have a purpose, boom, I started putting weight on again.
Yeah, and then you came back and you were 300.
Yeah.
I was like, holy shit, bro, what happened?
Yeah. I came back.
You almost weighed, I was 240s at the time.
Yeah.
And you were 250s. And so you were almost my
15
weight.
15 pounds away.
Yeah, we were almost the same weight for the first time in fucking forever.
Since probably 8th grade wrestling.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy.
And then,
I was like, holy shit, dude, you're about to be as much as me. And I'm a foot taller than you, though.
Yeah. Are you 6'3"?
No, you're not 5'3", liar.
I'm 5'2.5".
Yeah, I'm 6'1.5".
Oh, okay.
Rounded up a foot.
Yeah. I always had this thing. So when I was on my mission, real quick, my trainer, the guy that trained me, he lost I think like 80 pounds on his mission before I got there. So he was all like fitness, want to work out every day and skinny. But he showed me pictures when he got there. He looked like me. He was a big guy. And he had told me that he grew 3 inches by losing weight because his back was able to straighten up. And so I'm excited because I might be 5'5" if I actually lose the weight.
That'd be cool. That'd be so cool if your spine because the guy's got to be compressed.
I mean, here, I don't want to do it off camera, but look at me. I mean, here's my curve on my spine.
Take a step to your left.
Here's the curve on my spine.
Look at that ass.
I know, right? Poor people, but I'm just...
Bounce it, dude. You know how to twerk?
No, not on camera.
You do know how to twerk, though?
I will not confirm or deny anything like that.
I don't know how to twerk.
You've never practiced alone in the mirror after a shower?
Just naked? You're like, damn, I can throw it back. You probably could twerk good with all that jiggle, dude. Just like boom, 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 boom,
dude,
boom.
It's so cool. Never mind.
What?
I'm not gonna say that. That was so. No, that'll get you canceled. It's bad. I'll tell you after.
It'll get me canceled. Dang. Okay. So then you fluctuated. You come back. We're here. We're working out. We're at the gym together a couple times. It seems like in December you were super motivated. January I thought, oh shit, it's the real deal. Transformation time. Something happened. You fell off. You got back on. Fell off, and now you're in the 290s.
Yeah. Well, because you're right. I have kept falling off, but it keeps coming with like the purpose. Like I'm trying to figure out because I'm working a job, and I'm super grateful for it. Like the job I have is great, but I always feel like I'm living under my potential if I'm not doing my own thing, just because I know how. And I think a big part of that is I don't know what I want to start yet. And so I don't have a big purpose. And so I fluctuate. And you've even commented and seen it. Some days I'm like, hey, I'm Mr. Confident. This is what I'm doing. And then the next day I'm like, I don't know if I want to do this. I don't know what I'm doing. And I'm just sitting there. And that is the biggest problem. I got to commit to something and then do it.
Yeah. You get lazy too easily.
I find most people aren't actually really hard workers or lazy. It's what they want to do, if that makes sense.
Yeah, if they're just passionate.
Yeah.
They have drive, energy, excited. But even to that point, it's not just that. Like, I got to get homework done. Read my MBA during all this, too.
Yeah.
I'm going to have to work on my MBA while I'm in Turkey shooting a documentary.
Yeah.
After a long 10-hour, 12-hour day of running a camera, my back's hurting. I got to do stretches at night, too. I also got to log in and do shit I don't want to do. So it's not all just passion.
Yeah.
It's just doing what you said you're going to do. That's really what it boils down to. And you're only going to say you're going to do the things you want to do.
Right.
There's a reason you want to do the things, even if they suck. There's a deeper reason why you want to do that, why you put it on your list.
Yep.
And then when it becomes time, you're in it and you're like, why did I want to do this? That's when you're finding all the excuses to get out.
Yeah.
And so I don't think everyone's just driven. It's just who's consistent and can stay true to their word.
Yeah. I agree with that. I do think there is a little bit, though, on once you've picked something and you've decided, like, excuse me.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Anyway.
So you've picked something. You said fitness is your number one priority.
Yep.
A few times.
Yeah.
But it never really stayed.
Not
forever. It doesn't matter. It's like, it did. Yeah, it stayed for a week. There was 2 weeks.
Yeah.
I was staying and I was consistent, but it's never staying.
Yep.
Like, this is it. We're doing it. I mean, think about my fucking camera journey. It is there's so many times I feel like, I felt like giving up too and wanted to quit. It's like, it's an income thing. It's like scary thing, stability thing. You start getting scared. But there was a day where I was like, because I can do a lot of things. I like a lot of things.
Yeah.
I do a lot of things. People like to say that all the time. I just don't know you're lucky you found your passion. But I chose something and I'm sticking to it.
Yeah.
And I'm going to be the best at it. That's how it happened. Like, life is abundant and there's so much experience and so much shit to do. That's why I chose this.
Yeah.
Because I get to go dip into a lot of badass things in life.
Right.
But you got to choose something there's something beautiful about mastery.
I agree with that. 1 million%.
Yeah. And so, I mean, the thing is your mastery, you decided to focus on sales.
Yeah.
It's been your mastery. You're obsessed with it. You watch videos, you read books about sales. You're always excited about sales and you would have decided this is what I want to do because it's the funnest and or most fun, and things like that. But then you start dying because you're getting too fat.
Yeah.
And so you're like, no, fitness got to be number one. It's going to kill me. But you never can really make it your number one. You never make that decision.
Yeah. That's the problem. It needs to be number one. But kind of like I said earlier, I am really good at being good at fitness when it was relating to sales.
Because you wake up and there's a few things you like to do in the morning, but one of them is work.
Yeah.
And you prefer to do that before you even work out. You prefer to take on everything because you don't want to, it's not your number one. It's like a reflection of your number one priorities a bit.
Yeah.
I feel like wake up, get cardio in at least right away. It's like that shows you woke up and you're like, I'm ready to get it.
Yeah.
I'm ready to get it.
Sorry, I'm thinking a little bit about what you're saying because that's kind of the thing. I used to get up at 4 a.m. every morning, and the first thing I do was get up, throw gym clothes on, go to the gym. And I loved it. But right now, I'm fighting to get up at 4 a.m.
You don't have to wake up at 4 a.m. though.
I know.
That's like extreme. Why not wake up at 6. That's 2 more hours. 7, 8. Just do it. 7:30. Wake up, cardio 30 minutes, 8 o'clock a.m. and you're ready to do your day.
Yeah. I guess the point I'm trying to bring up is it comes kind of like to the discipline like you're talking about is not the 4 a.m. was the time to go to the gym, but I was so disciplined. Like I'd get up when the alarm went off. If I said I was going to the gym, if I said I was going to study for an hour, and somewhere I think in the business record or maybe I was just disciplined for a couple of years. I don't know, but I'm not a disciplined person. I had a good 3-year stint where I was pretty disciplined, and now I've kind of reverted back. And one, it's terrible, but that's kind of my point is like, I say I'm going to go to the gym and I haven't been, or I'm going to eat clean and I haven't, or I'm going to study today.
It's the diet. It's like not even the working out. It's the diet.
It's like, well, just for me right now, I feel like I'm in survival mode. Like I'm only doing the bare minimum. Like I know, like I still get good results for work, but I could get better because I'm just good at sales. But does that make sense? Kind of what I'm saying
inside your soul right now.
Yeah, for anything. That's kind of the point. Is it's not just like I'm picking the job. Like I've given you my business plan a little bit, but it's like I'm just not excited about life. Like everything feels like a chore right now, except for playing Apex and smoking a little bit of the ganja.
And but the one thing is you have moments where you can be conscious and you decide that you want this type of, I want to be in shape. I don't want all this stuff that you want. And when you make those conscious decisions and you write it down, then you just, what do you say to yourself to make you not do it?
That's what I think. I've told you this lately. I think the excuse has been, I'm going to start tomorrow. Like, let's get rid of
every day's tomorrow.
Honestly, dude, it's terrible to say, but over the last 4 months, it's like, I'm going to start tomorrow. I'm going to start tomorrow. And I'm like, if you go through my note tab on my phone, there is probably 50, no joke, morning in my deleted, because I deleted them because I felt guilty the other day, but 50 morning routines on get up at this time. This is what you do for work. This is your day. And none of them, not one of them, has lasted the whole day. As in, I used to never deviate, if that makes sense. If I said I was getting something done at 2, it was done at 2.
You know what's worked for me, actually? Reducing my workload.
Yeah.
Like, I used to over-schedule my day where I had to get shit done by a time, because if I don't get that done by this time, it's going to push the next thing I had to get done. And before I know it, I'm stressed at the end of every day because I have things pushed to the next day.
That's how I'm feeling right now.
And it's like, I'm not getting it done. But if I give myself more realistic time buffers where I can just get lots of shit done thoroughly.
Yeah.
And it's like, item at a time, I'm actually going to focus for these couple hours and do this. I'm going to couple hours and focus on this. Then I feel like I give myself time to actually have wins. Yeah. Certain guaranteed wins. And if I do get them done, I want to do extra. That extra work is just fucking like, fuck yeah.
Right.
Like, I'm a fucking monster. I got so much shit done today.
That's the biggest thing. I write down probably 30 things every day that I want to get done today. And
you got to set your standards lower, brother.
I tell myself that every day. I'm like, okay, this all needs to happen with work. This needs to happen at home. Pick 5. And then right now, I don't know what's going on. I just don't complete the 5.
Yeah. I'm in a weird predicament myself where I've kind of chosen a romantic path.
Yeah.
I'm like a little bit of a romantic in life where I don't chase the dollar value as my sole thing. It's like artistic value. I got to find a beautiful story to tell in a documentary, experience things like that. And I know the sales grind, it's a little bit less, it's a little bit more of like finding the purpose and the value you bring to your product and really just hustling on that because it's going to reflect through wealth.
Yeah.
Is the value that you brought is going to reflect through wealth. So if everyone wants to be rich, so if you're just going to be rich, it's like, I mean, is that the really super motivating?
That, and sometimes I wonder about that because being rich in that status was my driver for everything. We've talked
millionaire
about
by 30. You always said that. You always would say that.
And now I'm 31 and I'm more broke than I was at 20. And I'm like,
always would say that shit.
But,
I would always get annoyed when you'd say it too.
Yeah, 2 million by 30. It was written down every day for almost a decade.
A weird goal.
But the way I look back now, and I kind of think I hit it because I just wrote 2 million by 30. I never wrote personal income, and Nick and I were doing 4 million a year. So
I think you meant millionaire as in your bank had $1 million.
I know what I meant, but I'm trying to make myself feel a little better right now.
Hey, actually, I used to have a goal in my notes that I think honestly it was only 100,000 views for a video. I wanted to get 100,000 views on a video. And then after that video reached 100,000, I changed to 1 million. And now I got that video with 1 million. And it doesn't do anything, but it's funny ass goals. Like, it's a weird goal. I think back then it mattered. I was like, I wanted a goal like that.
I think about that all the time sometimes right now is I'll go like read back through my old journals or my notes and be like, that goal, why was that even a thing that I was so very stressed out about? Like
superficial goals.
Yeah, like I want 45 salespeople in my organization. I'm like, I would rather have 5 people that cared about my company and were passionate about my product, knew what I was doing, and that we built something great than 45 people.
That really dives into the mind of what a young, youthful teenager, 20-year-old people coming out into the world, what their aspirations are centered around.
Yeah,
superficial spectacles. What do I look like? I want the people to look at me and they see someone who is doing this. Not like, what is it actually you want to pursue and purpose? It's what do I want people to look at me and see?
Yeah.
And it's actually pretty superficial.
It is. And I think sometimes that's my problem right now is I feel like everything was like, my whole identity became, I was the dropout that everybody said would still be, flipping burgers at McDonald's, and look what I did. And honestly, I'm kind of grateful sometimes it happened because I was a dick. We have some mutual friends where I was like, you could just go do anything. Like, don't be a...
Oh, you were an asshole?
Yeah. I was kind of an arrogant asshole. And sometimes I'm like, this sucks. But at the same time, you needed the ego hit. You were a dick. You chased away some really good relationships and hurt some people. And you judged a lot of people for not being to your standard when you don't have their lives. You don't know what's going on. Like, sometimes I'm grateful it happened a little bit. Sometimes. Then
it's the only thing you can
when I see my paycheck and then I'm like, oh, it's nothing.
It's always, you can never hate anything that's ever happened because it turned you into who you are. And if you don't love yourself, then that's already a problem in itself. But
yeah,
the only things you really can regret is stopping bad things from happening to people you love and hurting people with your words. I feel like when you say negative things, you regret it.
Yeah.
When you hurt people, you regret it. So those are the only regrets, really.
Yep. I agree with that.
But sometimes even those, you have to do that because it's you putting your hand on a hot stove and going, oh, that burns. And when you flash out of anger and you hurt people, you go, oh, that burns my life. Yeah. My life is burning.
Dude, that's how I feel. I'm still sorry.
Oh, what? Oh, yeah. I guess, yeah, you did fucking, that's hilarious. Yeah, I wasn't even mad, dude. I was mad for a little bit. I was like, fucking imagine Mark's face on the punching bag.
You could tell at the very beginning when I called, you could still see it in your eyes for a second.
That I was angry?
Yeah, then you watched it kind of go out. That's why I was just standing there quiet because I was like, he should vent for a second. I was an asshole. But it was like 2 seconds.
And then we put the gloves on and let all the rest of the anger out.
Yep.
I fucking almost dropped you after the liver shot.
That was
dope.
It was so weird because it didn't hurt. Like, I mean, there was a little bit of pain, but not like I would say I was in pain.
Yeah.
But it was just like all my inside. I don't want to offend anybody. It felt like all my organs went right under my titties. Like, it was just like... What
the fuck?
Like, that's what my insides
It's hard because we've done a few sparring sessions at this point.
Yeah.
And I always, try to go kind of light, but I'll try to get a liver shot. and you're thick. I never have been able to. You can tell I hit your body shots harder, huh?
Yeah.
I go for the body shots a little harder because I'm trying to actually give you something because you're so thick. I feel like you eat body shots because of your That's like wearing armor.
It
like
kind
you
of
have like a fucking thick
it's
layer.
not like a mattress in front of you because like you punch it absorbs like
yeah. So I was super proud of myself when it was a right like uppercut kind of
right here. Just went like I don't even know how.
It was so awesome. It felt flush too.
It's flush. Still a little right here.
That was awesome.
I can feel it right where your knuckle.
I get to see instantly that I did something.
It was just like I was in shock. It didn't hurt. I was just like.
Maybe I hit you in the sternum. Was it sternum like right here?
No, it was
down here.
It's down here.
Oh, it's the liver then. For sure, I got the liver shot. Fuck yeah. Liver shots are so satisfying to get on people.
It's right on this fat roll. Right here is where you got
liver shots in particular are so precise because you have to have a plan. I'm going to get that liver. And so you have to set it up. And then because you have to expose yourself when you throw for bodies, you kind of have a window where they can hit you. So you have to to set it up and get that liver. And when you get it, you're like, fucking got it.
Yeah.
It feels rewarding.
I still can't believe I didn't know that you could hit a liver until the Ryan Garcia Tank Davis fight.
Yeah. Those guys fucking wailing. Yeah. I bet you their bodies are like seasoned up.
Yeah, did you watch it after?
It was like 5 seconds after he walked off.
Well, they showed it later. You could see like his whole insides like go in for like half
a second.
Second.
Oh, I didn't even notice.
Yeah, go watch the slow-mo. You can see like they go in and like his muscles all tighten and everything goes in for a second, then comes back out. And
because liver shots hurt.
Because I watched that one live and I'd never watched the boxing match before. Actually, the kid Adam that we were talking about earlier, he had got it on pay-per-view.
Well, actually, you didn't name him.
What?
You didn't name him earlier, but now you've named him.
Well, nobody knows. I didn't say last name.
That was the guy we said this guy.
Oh, yeah. Well, that was a different guy. That was a different guy.
Oh, okay, maybe not.
That was
We jumbled up the information enough that everyone's confused again.
Yeah, it's perfect. They'll never know.
Adam was funny, a little bit alcoholic.
Yeah.
He came over.
Really alcoholic. But
it's like, bro, aren't you Muslim?
Yeah, dude.
Some Muslims. He's European Muslim or something, right? What was he?
He was from Kyrgyzstan. I don't remember. He spoke Kurdish, was what he spoke.
What is that fucking country?
I don't know.
The Kurds, just south of Turkey. It's like a part of Turkey border.
Is it? Mm-hmm. Oh, his dad was from Saudi Arabia. His mom was from there because he used to tell stories of his dad would go watch the people after school get their heads or arms chopped off.
What?
Yeah.
What the fuck?
His dad told me some of those stories too. Whoa. Just like that was like his normal day after school. Like you got out of school.
No wonder he wants to drink.
Yeah, you walked and then
help me forget.
Adam was a little alcoholic. What was the point I was gonna make? Why did I bring him up?
Boxing.
Oh yeah, but he had me watch the fight with him, and when Ryan went down, I was like, "What a bitch! Why is he going down? Like he just got hit in the side."
Oh yeah.
Like, dude. This is stupid. Why are we watching this?
It seemed like he was into boxing a bit.
He loved boxing.
We were punching the bag, remember?
Yeah.
We went and punched the bag.
He was always watching UFC and boxing and stuff. But yeah, I didn't know you could take a liver shot until that night when he showed it to me.
Yeah, I wonder what's the next fight coming up? Kamzat, I think.
I don't know.
Yeah, you're kind of getting into watching fights now, right?
Yeah, it's getting fun. Now that
you came over and watched the last UFC?
Yeah.
Who was that last one? Dustin Poirier?
Yep, where he lost. I was so sad.
Yeah.
I thought
against Islam.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was sad.
But there was that
good though.
There was that one spot when I thought Dustin was winning in the second or third round.
I'm already forgetting. It was like a long match.
Yeah.
And Islam. I thought Islam was going to destroy him. But Dustin, he's top tier, so it sucks to be in that position where you can never get champion, but you're up there amongst you can hang with everybody, the champions. You're just underneath the champions level. Just underneath them every time. Except for Khabib, he'll kill you.
Yeah, except for Khabib.
Yeah. All right, bro. Well, let's cut it there.
Yeah.
Because I told you I'm gonna try to do a 2 for today.
Yep.
So I got a lot of shit to do before then. Oh, did you enjoy our workout today? We did a little knee rehab.
Dude, real quick. My legs haven't felt that jelly in forever.
From today?
The wall sits.
Oh, the wall sits.
Did you see the way I was walking down the stairs behind you? I could not bend my legs. I was like going down, both hands on. Like you just walk down and I'm like, dude, I'm about to fall over. And there was a lady coming up and I had to let go and grip the other side.
Hold on to it, shake it.
And you're just down at the cubby thing and I'm like one step.
I was going slow too though because I was worried about my knee. I could feel the pressure. So I was like going slow, going down the stairs.
I felt like I couldn't bend my legs. Like my thighs were just so jelly. By the time we got back out to the car, I was fine. But
nice. Oh, yeah, you got your protein shake there. All right.
Cool.
Let's get out of here.
Awesome.
Thank you, brother. Peace out.